Hey my friend, I want this video to lift you up. If you're feeling down on this Monday, I want to share something with you that maybe you've heard before. I've shot another video where I talked about this, and it's powerful stuff, right? So flashback, when I was born, brought into this experience. I was brought into a household where I had younger parents who were, truth be told, probably really loving parents. They may have been on drugs and doing a lot of other stuff in their youth that didn't really make them the best parents, but maybe that's all they knew, right? Nonetheless, as a kid, I was abused. I was neglected, I was tortured. There was a lot of things that happened to me as a kid, but I wouldn't change it. They say that your dreams at night are a manifestation of what happens when you're awake, right? Your subconscious mind decompresses things that are happening during the daytime. But if we understand our dreams and we can shift them, which is what lucid dreaming is, I'm a big proponent of lucid dreaming. I've never really talked about this before because I figured maybe it was a little too woo-woo for most people. Maybe you're at a point in your life where you've never had a lucid dream, or you don't even really remember your dreams. Maybe they're just a bunch of jargon and you wake up the next day, you're like, well, what happened there? For me, it's very real. I can see it, the lucid dream, and they've done MRIs and studied the brain, which is pretty cool, to where during a lucid dream, your brain's 50,000 times more active. The whole brain, left and right, prefrontal cortex, everything. As a kid, when I was abused, neglected, tortured, at night I would dream that this monster was coming after me. And every night I would pee the bed. And I remember waking up, pee. Sometimes I would literally shit my pants. And then I remember it was so real that during the day I would, and this wasn't when I was dreaming, but during the day I would look at my skin and be like, is this really a dream? When is the monster coming? I was terrified, right? Like PTS, terrified. So I would look at my hand and I would see if it would change, because in dream state things shift quickly. And I knew that the monster would be coming if my hand changed, right? I did that enough to where as soon as I had that dream again, and I knew I was dreaming, I recognized it because my hand changed, I knew I was in a dream, I saw the monster, and instead of running away, I ran at it in my dream. And I remember controlling that space, that dream space, that alternate reality, whatever you want to call it. And I remember jumping up in the sky, and I summoned like this sword. You know, as a kid, I grew up watching Thundercats. So I imagined this sword falling into my hand, and I plunged down towards the earth, like Thor, like in a movie, like an IMAX movie, flying at this monster. And I landed right in front of the monster, and I was ready to do battle with this thing. And I looked at it, and the dream had changed again. The dream was this little baby child. And as I looked at this little baby monster, this cute, cuddly little monster, I recognized that in real life, that was a part of me. And I was running away from it this whole entire time. And the baby monster was probably just as scared as I was. And I related that to this adult, this biological father who had beaten me, who had tortured me, all of this stuff. I related that little baby monster to him. So there was aspects of this person that were innocent, that were loving, that were caring. And I knew that if I could change my dream at night, I could start to change my reality. So I started choosing situations where I wasn't a victim. You know, I wasn't getting hit or slapped or beat, or my sister that was a year younger than me. I would help her dodge those aspects of that interpersonal relationship between the father and us as well. The dream really gave me the confidence to go there in reality. And that's what your dreams can do for you. I'm living proof of that. If you have any past trauma that you're dealing with, I would recommend going to what's called Landmark. And I know there's good and bad to the organization. Obviously, they don't pay for any marketing, so you may get like 20 phone calls afterwards. If you're cool with that, they want to sell you into their group. But there's actually a lot of language and a lot of really great benefits to doing it. So take the good with the bad, all this stuff. I'm not paid to say that, but it's one thing that impacted me. I actually wrote a letter to my father after that, when I was about 27 years old, forgiving him. And I forgave him when I was 6 in my prayers to God. And that released me to a certain extent, but I was still running this story in my mind. And if you've been to Landmark, you totally get it. So I needed to release that story, the ego part of it. And I wrote a letter thanking him for bringing me into this life and completely just letting it go. And I got this beautiful letter back from him. And so that's kind of where that relationship is now. I'd love to meet him one day and really sit down with him. I don't know what would happen. You know, maybe I'm telling myself that I'm over it, but maybe I'm really not. Who knows what would happen? If you'd like to see that, give this video a big like, and I can put some feelers out there and make that happen. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Whatever you're dealing with, my friend, it's not too hard to go through. You'll make it through it. God never gives you anything that you can't go through. So, as always, remember, we're in this together. I'm Drew Canoli. We'll see you soon.